Hello and welcome to TCG Deck Tech. Today we're gonna play the Undying Championless, which is a deck I had a lot of fun and a lot of success with in Masters. As of the recording of this video, it has a 54% win rate below Masters and a 56% win rate in Masters, which is always a nice sign to learn a deck because it will get better once you get better at the game. So basically what this deck is wanting to do is get the Undying, kill it a bunch of times and make it very big. So the Undying was always a card I was very interested in because it's basically, as the name says, Undying. And it gets bigger every time it dies, it gets bigger next turn, you get it back. So what you want to do is kill it with stuff like Ravenous Butcher, but also with Chronicle of Ruin. You can revive it, so you have 2 Undyings on the battlefield. You have the Ethereal Remitter, so you get a 5 mana out of it when it dies, and stuff like that. You also have Atrocity, because once it's very big, you can throw it at your opponent. And yeah, that's working pretty nice in this deck. You also have cards from Bilgewater, because you have to get your opponent vulnerable. Vulnerable is basically what enables the Undying to have a basic board presence, because if you don't give your opponent's units vulnerable, they will just not ever block the Undying and it will never die, which you don't want. You always want to trade off your Undying with your opponent's creatures to have it have value, because you are not able to block with it, so you have to kill it at the attack step. And basically with vulnerable, it finally works. It's enough to put this card over the edge, and yeah, you will see in the games why that is, hopefully. Yeah, 55% win rate, of course, doesn't sound that much if you're just getting into the game, but basically it's what you can expect from a card deck, because you'll always have a lot of variance in the game. This is not a great draw, but I do have a 1 mana card, which is nice. Warden Spray is basically just a way to get some other Last Breath cards, maybe another Undying, maybe something from another region, but yeah, just get some value from this card dying. So I'm playing against Karma Fresh here. Karma Fresh is not something I see that often, so I could Butcher here and get the Last Breath. I think I'm going to do that. Normally you want to keep your Ravenous Butcher until you have something that you really want to have die, like the Undying or even the 2 mana Last Breath follower you have that summons the 4/4. I'm not sure yet what's its name. I've forgotten, I think. But I played this deck a lot in tournament as well. Didn't have that much success in the tournament, but yeah, that was mostly variance. I didn't draw as well, and I also had some mistakes I made. But it wasn't the deck's fault, really, because the deck is really nice. Shark Chariot is not a great card to have happen once I got the Last Breath out of it, because yeah, it's ephemeral and I don't really have the ephemeral units to make it come back. So yeah, that's not a great card to have here. But I'm gonna use it to fight against this Fawny Toad and get it down a bit. So against these 2 regions, I will have to watch out for some life gain, of course, but it's okay for me because I don't need to raise my opponent down. I can be very effective in the early turns because of Ravenous Butcher being such a nice value card in the early game, but I don't have to kill them early. So this is also a very nice feature of the deck. It's mid-range, but you can be very fast, but you can also be very slow. Yeah, this is still not what I wanted. Just gonna pass that. Ruination is nice in this deck because you don't mind your Undying dying. It will just come back the next turn, so you have 1 Ruination, even though you're mid-rangey deck. It just can swing the game in your favor at some point, so it's a very nice card to have. I still don't have great plays for my cards. Normally I would have drawn the Undying or stuff like that, but yeah, today I'm just drawing the spells here, unfortunately. Can get rid of the Karma probably, because, well, if they don't have like Twin Disciples. Nope. So that's nice, getting rid of the Karma early. And basically I can't do much else. There's the Undying finally. So let's see what will happen now. Oh, the Rekindler. Okay, so Karma is back. I do have the Sheriff for next turn. See how I work this here. Can attack with this and this. They can't really block with the Karma unless they wanted to die. This is also nice. I can kill the Rekindler with just the Vile Feast. And I think I'm going to use that, even though I can't drain anything because I'm at 20 health. Still want that Spiderling here. Just to have another blocker in case they get rid of the hired gun. Of course, against Karma, you don't want to be that slow, even with this deck, because, yeah, Karma just goes off when you have 10 mana available. And also, yeah, they're just getting a lot of spells in their hand here, so, yeah, you don't want to be very, very slow against Karma. You want to kill them before turn 10, basically. Gonna play the Sheriff now. I don't really care about them playing another card that can't get Challenger because, yeah, the most important thing is the Karma here, definitely. I can take this attack, no problem. So I could play the Darkwater Scourge, even though... Oh, well, Ethereal Remitter is much better. Because now I have another unit and I also have my Undying coming back next turn, no matter what happens on the combat step. Yeah, that's basically close to being game over for them because I do have Atrocity. Which was not in the original version I got from Legends of Runeterra for this deck. But I really think it's a very nice card, especially with the Undying getting so big a lot of the times. It can surely help you like win the game. And my mouse is having some problem. I have a hardware problem with my mouse that it just double clicks, which is pretty annoying, especially in stuff like League of Legends. But yeah, let's just swing in, see what happens. Have a lot of things we can do. But they might have a lot of things as well because their hand is so full. Let's see. Probably gonna recall this one. I could Atrocity it, but they could deny my Atrocity, of course. Okay. So I could Atrocity this card. But they would still have 5 remaining. They would have 1 remaining after my attack. And I would still have their Karma. But I think I have to do it. I think I'm gonna do it on the Karma though. Because I want to get rid of it. Because it would just level up next turn. And I can't really win this turn. So that's what I'm gonna do. Worked out pretty nice. So yeah, 5 health is way too much, but it's okay, they don't have their Karma anymore. They might have another Karma in hand. That's definitely a possibility. There's the Cursed Keeper, that's the card I was looking for earlier. Yeah, that's another Karma. As was to be expected, but let's see how they want to use their spell mana. Don't want to Ruination that because I don't have enough mana to do other things. I want to keep 7 mana up for Grasp and the Vile Feast to kill the Karma, hopefully. I just want to keep the deny away here and have them use their 4 mana here. That's not enough. Okay, they pass back to me. That still gives me a good shot here. For the sheriff. Still have the 7 mana remaining, of course, which is nice. So they might play the Ruination themselves here, or not. Okay. So yeah, this could be pretty nice for me. Could be even a win. But yeah, I'm not trusting it. They have a lot of cards in hand. And a lot of mana. And the karma, which will make everything hurt. Double the damage, basically. Probably Withering Wail or something. Or even 2 of them, which would totally wreck my board. Just a Vengeance, okay. So I'm not gonna kill them this turn. Can get rid of the karma though. It's always nice. If they don't have a deny here. Well, even if they have a deny, I have another Wild Feast. They might Will of Ionia it. That could be a possibility. They might give it Barrier, but I would have another Wild Feast there. So now the spell drawing comes back to help me actually, which was not very great in the early game, but in the late game I like these spells. Yeah, they're in a bit of a pickle. They wouldn't think that long if they weren't. Okay, would have expected that earlier. Still, their karma is going to die here. Ravenous Butcher is perfect. Yeah, I think I'm still ahead here, depending on if they have a 3rd karma or... Yeah, that's basically what it is. Rekindler also, of course, gives them the karma back. So I could play Ruination here, but they do have 4 mana remaining, so it's probably not the best idea. I think I'm gonna try it anyway. Let's see if they have deny here. Cause I can still do a lot of things next turn and even this turn. Yeah, that's a deny. Okay. Was to be expected. But I can still do a lot of stuff. Could get rid of this. But do I need to? Not really. So let's see, the Chronicler giving me another Undying. Wanna get rid of a Spiderling here to get another Ravenous Butcher going. They are on the edge, but they have not lost this yet. They might still have another Withering Wail or stuff like that. So against Karma, you're always, am I going to win this? But as you see, this deck has a lot of way of outplaying even these control-y type of decks. Yeah, another Withering Wail. That's not as bad as it seems because I have the Undying. Vile Feast is pretty bad though, because they will get a lot of spiders to block with. And of course they're now going to have a lot of health. Curse Keeper. Gonna use the Butcher on the Undying though, because I do want to draw the other atrocity I have at some point. And I will draw it at some point, I can definitely say that for sure. I think I'm just gonna Withering Wail them, because they don't have Deny up. And I can just hurt their Karma a bit, and finish it off with the Grasp. Also kill all these spiders, except for this one, of course. Still have my Darkwater Scourge in case they do get me a bit lower. So everything should work out pretty fine here. Can just kill that, I don't care. I like losing a bit of a few units here to get some space for Warden's Prey. Ooh, it's a Mist's Call, okay. Will that revive more Karmas though? I hope not, but it might be. Yeah, okay, that's bad. That's bad news for me. Okay, so I will need to draw the Atrocity soon. And also kill my Undying another time, and then another time. Yeah, I think I've lost this one. Yeah, I also played my Ruination already. That's an interesting interaction, but yeah, I couldn't finish it as early as I wanted to. They had good draws. They had too many Karmas for me, and they drew the Rekindler when they had to basically. That's okay though. You're gonna win. You're gonna win some. You're gonna lose some. But you saw this deck can definitely hang even with the control decks in the late game. Gonna show another match here, and I guess I'll call it a day because it was a very long first match. That's a very nice start. You have basically a lot of power on turn 2. Would have liked it if my opponent attacked first, because now I can't do anything in turn 1, but it's okay. Undying is probably even better for me. So they're gonna have Yasuo and Swain, so they're gonna want to stun a lot. So basically it's comes down to whether I want to use my Ravenous Butcher on my Undying or on my Cursed Keeper. I think I'm gonna take the Cursed Keeper just to get a lot of early game presence here. Against Yasuo it's always a nice idea. They are going to stun my Undying though, so that shifts things a bit. Cause now I think I just want to kill the Undying. Well, if I kill this, I have a 4/4, so I'm gonna do it. Just to have a blocker next turn. Cause I'm gonna attack with the house. And they're gonna kill this Ravenous Butcher. Gonna kill that Blade Twirler here. Don't want that to get big. Okay. Yeah, that's tough one. That's a very tough one. Didn't expect them to have transfusion, to be honest. I haven't played that much against Swain Yasuo, to be perfectly frank. Should still be okay. Especially now with the shield breaker here. But my life total is worrying me, definitely. Yeah, that's the block I expected. Maybe should have not attacked and played the Vile Feast on them. Probably be the better thing in this situation. Atrocity is nice to have. For sure. Yeah, there's not really much I can play here that makes any sense. Because I will have to shump block it, the Blade Twirler. And I will need to block it with the shield breaker as well. So tough. And they're having a very good draw with the Yasuo deck. You have to see that, definitely. Will need to play my Darkwater Scourge now. Can play my Hired Gun, which is nice. Hopefully get rid of the Blade Twirler, finally. Also have my Atrocity for next turn, so I'm not out of this. That's a big stun though. That's okay though, still. Hopefully this will get through. Perfect, okay. Now I have a little bit of breathing room. Their board is depleted and they lost their biggest unit. Will attack for 4 again though. Should still be fine. Don't really want to play the Hired Gun now, but I will waste mana. Well, they will waste mana as well if they don't play anything. So it's okay. I would like to have the Citrus Courier. How do I pull this off the best way? Do I just open attack? Hope they don't block me. Probably have a stun card. Should I play Hired Gun first? They play maybe another blocker, but I'm gonna risk it for now. Just see what they are going to do here. That's a Yasuo, okay. They probably have Deny, so might not be that much use trying to get rid of this Yasuo. With Vengeance, for example. Still really need to try it, I guess. Just to get the field clear for the Atrocity that will hopefully come at some point. Oh, I also can just kill it. That's perfect. Will not have the mana remaining for Citrus Courier. And I have a Swain against me now. Still, I think I'm just gonna attack. Just to weaken the Swain a bit. Maybe, if they block. If not, I'm gonna hurt them a bit, which is also nice. Don't want the Swain to level up, but Wild Feasting myself seems to be a bit troll. But I'm still gonna do it, I think. Well, it will cost me mana. I don't think I'm gonna do it. If I would have had more than 3 mana remaining, I might have done it, but I want to keep up the spell mana. And yeah, 2 Wild Feasts will help me against the Swain. For sure. If they don't have a deny. If they have a deny, I'm just toast. Well, I can still play Atrocity, but it's not a good Atrocity. You don't want to have that. But they don't have deny for the second time in a row that I really didn't want them to have deny. So that's nice. Ferial Remitter. Hopefully we'll get my Citrus Carrier through next turn. Ooh, Leviathan. Okay. That's a tough one. Blade Twirl is also not great. I would love to get through with the Citrus Carrier here. I really need to get through with the Citrus Carrier here to even have a shot. Okay, so now I have a lot of options. Can play Atrocity at some point. I do want them to waste their mana first. So I'm gonna play the Citrus Carrier. See what they do. Want to get them under 6 mana, under 4 mana because of deny. Even though they didn't have it the turns before, they might still bunker it for an emergency. And they surrendered. Perfect, perfect. So yeah, 2 matches, but very long matches. But yeah, you see how much thinking goes into this deck, how it's really a deck you can work with, you can play around, you can outplay your opponent. And this is basically what a Master should be about. And this is basically what Runeterra should be about. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the deck. Subscribe to my channel, like this video if you want to. And we'll see each other next time. This was TCG Deck Tech signing out.